Good evening, all the way around the edge of the galaxy. My name is Walt, and tonight we are talking all things Galaxy's Edge to the Galaxy's Edge fan club and beyond. Joining me tonight, I have a rogues gallery of Leej's Scoundrels, Scum, and Villainy to help me talk about this great property, Jason Onspach and Nick Cole's Galaxy's Edge series of books. Starting from my right and going clockwise or clockwork, depending on where you are in the world, we have Swordfish. How are you, sir?
Perfect.
Whoa, perfect. J.R. Handley on his, that would be your left, I think. Anyway, J.R.?
Better than I deserve.
Right on. Coming in, first time appearance, we have Backledog.
How's it going?
Trying to stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Rookie, right down in the middle.
Still recovering from Wednesday's interaction with a couple of points, but I'm otherwise good.
And Sphinx, how are you, sir?
Glory to the Black Fleet.
Oh boy! Well,
You're here.
You will have plenty.
I might be joining you.
You have plenty of opportunity to talk about that because later on tonight, our feature discussion is all about violent villainy, the scum, scoundrels, and bounty hunters of Galaxy's Edge. But before we get into that, we seem to have a tradition. What's been going on in Discord?
Well, we've been everybody's been dealing with the quarantine in different ways. Some of
you
us
guys are
have found,
quarantined?
Yeah. Some of them, some of us have found out about the margaritas and how 3.5 is a wee bit much, and then some of us have found out that this is boring as hell and we're going stir crazy. So we've been doing some talking, and squad support, supporting each other that way, giving each other tips on how to get through this boring ass time. Sorry. Yeah, I know. I'm breaking the rules already. But, yeah. I mean, it's a pretty fantastic thing.
I thought men drunk whiskey and margaritas for the ladies.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah, that explains his interactions the other night.
Oh, it's going that way. So what kind of channels have been really hopping and popping over in the Discord?
Season 2 has been really busy. Of course. And then Savage Wars people been talking about Savage Wars 2 and how they're loving it and all that good stuff. We got some people also working on the Wiki. So, Hanley, why don't you talk about the Wiki?
So the Wiki channel, there's two ways we can interact with the Wiki as fans. There is the Wiki channel in the Discord where you have a question or something you can't remember and you don't want to peer through all 2,000 billion books that they've written. You could just say, hey, this is my question. What color pants did Hogus wear? And somebody will be like, oh, I got you, fam. And they'll be able to tell you page, paragraph, and this is exactly that they were neon orange. I don't know. I'm making that up, but
except for that day on Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, except for on Taco Tuesday. And then there's of course the actual Wiki, and the reason I mentioned the actual Wiki is because that could use some love. So if you're someone who has the time and the talent, there are some people who would love for you to volunteer.
And if they want to volunteer, where can they go to sign up?
Oh, so you're asking me the hard questions. I just know they always.
It's my job, bro. It's my job.
I'm not actually sure who runs it, and that might be part of the problem. We'll have to find that out.
It's galaxiesedge.fandom.com.
Hey, and Sphinx, I know that you've been updating a little bit of it here and there, right?
Yeah, I'm just about done with my my reread. So I've been tastefully repairing the atrocities of how he described weapons in the lists. So that's been my main focus. I'll go through it on my 98th reread and do all the important stuff, but the weapons were prime this time.
So my question to you is how hard and what is involved in editing the wiki in your experience?
The hardest part is basically how the original person or the main guy who's been doing this has it just set up. It needs a lot of structural work, which I can probably do, but the hardest for you to just get on is just to make an account, and whatever page that you're looking at, you see something wrong, there's always a little indicator at the top right. It says edit, click it, edit it, hit save. That's all you got to do.
And if
do you have to make an account?
Yes, you do have to make an account, but it's as easy as making an AOL account for an 87-year-old grandmother.
Wait. You know about the AOLs?
I still use it, so yes.
Dude, same.
Oh,
Dog.
What?
okay.
Yeah, dude.
Y'all are old.
People use AOL.
Next
Dude,
year, some of you have dial-up internet.
It's
You do realize that's
that's
that's like those preppers who use like the ham radios and stuff like that.
Oh
You
my
know?
god.
You got to find out what's
remember-
going on in Sweden, so you hear the modem noise, and then all of a sudden, you've got mail.
I miss that noise.
I know every single one of those dial-up sounds too. Oh my god. I wish
I remember them.
each one. Oh my god.
I also
And you-
remember you used to
And you
get
couldn't
the
use
AOL
your phone. You couldn't use your landline when it was working. Oh.
Oh, you gotta get the party line, bro. Party line.
You remember how excited you'd get as a kid when that noise came on? You're like,
Oh,
oh,
God.
I'm about to see
Like,
some
oh.
cool stuff in 28 minutes when this page loads.
Oh my god!
And then, of course, you got all the mail where you get the AOL CDs that people would like make wind chimes for their porch with.
Oh god!
Maybe
Really
that's my
wanna-
neighborhood.
You really want to mess with a tech guy? Put that as like your text, that signing thing. That is your text message, and have somebody text you periodically.
yeah.
Absolutely nuts. So today we have ST66 Mackeldog joining us as our feature insider. Mackeldog, who are you and what's on your wanted poster?
All right, man. My name is Jason. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I did hard time in the Army, 2 years active, and then I did 6 years National Guard as a medic. So deployed once just to Afghanistan, and then I've been to some other countries as well. Right now, I'm currently working as an aircraft loadmaster, so I get to play around with airplanes and weights and things like that.
Do you get to hang out the door when it's flying?
I wish. I've tried. They said no.
Oh, those bastards! I used to love being in like a C-141 or I'm going to show my my age here, C-147. And yeah, rookie knows. He's like, what? They decommissioned those things like when the wings fell off. I loved being on one of those, and you had those loadmasters stick their heads out into the breeze and look back at you and be like, "You're good," and you knew you were good. You totally were good.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately, so showing my, well, I guess not really showing my age, but when I first arrived in Afghanistan, there was a horrific crash. The 747 took off. The loadmaster didn't do the proper job. They were shipping some MRAPs, right? And
expensive.
they just kind of broke, shifted back, aircraft stalled, and crashed. So I'll be the first one to admit it's a super easy job, but if you don't do it right, things can go pretty bad.
Right on. So, what's like the craziest situation as a loadmaster that you've seen?
The craziest is when you get airplanes in and you have no idea how the aircraft took off. You get on there and you're like, it happens a lot. I don't work with passenger flights. I only do cargo, thankfully. But when you get on a cargo aircraft and you start looking around and you're like, I don't know how this bird flew at all. So there's what's called a master equipment list, and the master equipment list is generally 1 to 2 pages or so. And it just details everything that's wrong on the aircraft. And recently I had one, I can't tell you what company I work for, but they drive brown cars around. But recently I had this master equipment list that was 34 pages long. And I got on there. It was just a lightning strike. Lightning strikes cause lots of little stuff. But I saw the length of that, and immediately my mind is just like, holy crap. I can't even.
Right on.
It's
So how,
hard work
go ahead.
doing Loadmaster for the lawn and garden companies. I mean, I get it. Jeb
Right.
is a harsh taskmaster.
Yeah.
So are you doing Loadmaster stuff for our Lord and Master Sam, or is it like a private company?
Private company.
So I wonder how that would be handled since we're talking all things load mastery. In the future, there has to be load masters for spaceships too. Have they ever actually handled that in any sci-fi book? I don't think so.
Galaxy's Edge did a little bit. They talked about it in. Oh, I can't mention that. Never mind.
So I probably haven't read
No,
that
you
one
started.
yet.
You got to finish now. Do it.
That's a recent story now. We can't go spoiling that one just yet.
No, yeah, I can't mention that. But yeah, there's been a couple of instances.
Okay, so if you want to know more, what you have to do is click the link, and we'll throw it up there somewhere for insider subscription, and you'll get to read that shiny story too.
Would you
That's
like to know
awesome.
more?
Would you
Would you
like
like
to
to
know more,
know
guys?
more? And speaking of knowing more, joining us, we have Ingram Matt.
Oi, what's going on, mate? I just want to interject here and say that logistics is clearly better than every other branch. So, forklift life, mate. Gonna get on.
Nothing happens until something moves. Is that how it goes?
But look, responsibility and blame is never on me. Okay, that's just how I roll.
It's not my fault that the forks went through the side of the aircraft.
Yeah, it wasn't my fault. It was the vehicle's fault. It's just. This is why I'm not promoted. Anyway,
So Mackledog, how'd you get into Galaxy's Edge?
Well, I started with Craig Allinson's series, you know, and so
X4.
yes, obviously, I didn't know if I could mention it or not, but yeah, I got into X4, and then I really liked R.C. Bray as a narrator. I'd never heard him before, so I started just looking for Bray titles, and you know, Legionnaire popped up. It's books 1 and 2, I believe, of the Galaxy's Edge series. I bought that with my Audible credit, and I was like, holy cow, this is amazing. It really felt to me like a grunt, like myself, sat down and wrote that book. So I kept on listening. I just loved it even more and more and more. And then when the I shouldn't say that.
Good army lad. Good army lad.
So, but I really enjoyed Bray as a narrator. I love the spin-off series. I know unpopular opinion, but I loved Iron Wolves. And my current favorite book in this series is still The Reservist, written by our own J.R. Handley.
Oh, God, now you're never going to get his head through the door. Ever
right on,
again.
brother. Best book.
Yeah.
Best of us.
It's my favorite so far.
This goes out to my boy Solomon.
That's you know, Karen Travis is an incredible author. You know, she wrote a ton of the Star Wars books that I listened to while I was growing up, and I'm a big fan of Star Wars, and I really appreciate that Galaxy's Edge does that kind of sci-fi the right way.
You're talking about the Republic Commando books too, right? Like Hard Contact, and then there was True. I didn't read True Colors or the other one.
Hard to Kill.
But Hard Contact I did read. Yeah, she nailed it.
Oh yeah,
with those.
She wrote a ton of the Mandalorian stuff too, with Man in the Mandalorian Armor and that whole series.
Mm-hmm. I believe she also did a short story for Tales from the Cantina, but I don't remember. It's been a long time.
We don't judge. Besides,
No, I think you're right. No, I did see that in there because I remember as a wee lad in a Barnes and Noble, I was looking between two different books, and it was Tales of the Bounty Hunters and then like Tales from the Cantina, and I'm like, which of these books do I want to get with my $20 allowance?
You got $20 as an allowance? Holy Jesus!
Like
Those
every,
But be praised.
yeah, every third week, maybe. I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah, I didn't go out much as a kid. I played video games.
Right on. So, Maggle Dog, who is your favorite cat? Well, before we get into that, have you read the whole series?
Yes. It
So-
has not been recent. I finished up Gods and Legionnaires recently, and now I'm on my re-listen of The Reservist.
Right on. So you haven't checked out the 100 yet,
No.
or the bootleg copy of the 100 that all of the insiders got that listed a certain somebody as a flight officer, and then
Oh, poor Swordfish.
So,
I haven't read it yet.
so for all of you that mentioned the 100, just so you know, that's available on the Galaxy's Edge website. They're trying to help people survive the quarantine, so they made it available there while it's in limbo with the Audible. And I think they pull it on the 20th or the 25th. So if you're interested, get it now. Otherwise, you got to wait for the audio, and then 6 months after that for it to drop.
right on. Although I think they're going to be aren't they going to be releasing both on the 28th?
I don't have any new intel on that. I just know that the website said that it was like till 20th or 25th. And then they're going to pull the ebook for the 100. Last I heard, it was the 6-month Audible exclusive.
Right on. So
Yeah.
We'll have to have Jason and Nick back on for some clarification. And
Too easy.
shenanigans.
and well, you get that with them. Did you see any of you guys see the D&D podcast we did last week? Dear Lord.
Outstanding.
I checked it out briefly.
Yes,
and,
keep following Conan. Fantastic.
So,
All I
so
have to say is
here's
Nicole.
yeah, poor Nicole, right? So here's what we're planning, right? So we were going to set it up this week, but we really didn't get the response that we were hoping for. So Jason and Nick want to plan a rescue mission with really D&D savvy, hungry insiders leading the charge. So they're looking for 4 people to jump on with gaming legend James Ward and go and rescue Conan and Sultria, aka Nick and Nicole, and Jason, who is still alive. Oh, the rest of us are all dead.
I've never played D&D in my life.
I'm good.
What edition are you guys playing?
It's
Second.
It's second that they're doing.
I've never played that one.
We
Did
need
you
someone
play
for a
first?
Leroy Jenkins moment.
Did you play first?
No, I've done 3.5. I've also done Pathfinder, and I actually tutored some kids, like low income and stuff like that. And then as a reward, I taught them 5th ed.
Right. So if you've played 5th ed, you would probably have no problem doing this. So, but
Okay.
it's just oh god, it's brutal because they're playing through Tomb of Horrors, and it's just it's one of those adventures that just it's a meat grinder. But then
Okay.
getting back to Galaxy's Edge, seeing as you've read most of the series, do you have a favorite book so far?
Me?
Yes,
The Reservist.
The Reservist.
Yeah.
and I would take it that a certain cook is your favorite character then.
Yes.
Donuts.
The other one's donuts.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Be honest, it was that mech run.
You know, I'm right at that part for my re-listen. I only do audio, and there's a certain grittiness to it that I really enjoy. I've been in situations where I felt helpless in my own personal life overseas, and so there's a lot of stuff written in there that I feel like I can really relate to. Plus, you know, when I went overseas, our commander was brand new. Our battalion commander was brand new. Never had a command before. Our sergeant major was brand new.
That was my story too.
You know, it was so messed up, and fortunately, because we have some seriously good medics, nobody died.
You were obviously one of the good medics, right?
Yes.
Now,
Well,
speaking well,
So
speaking from a medic perspective, what did you think about some of the horrificness that went on in reservist? Because I mean, and I've talked to JR about this previously. I mean, the way JR wrote it, JR's an asshole. he ground those lieges under his boot, and like I gave a copy of JR's book to some friends of mine who are green beanies, National Guard green beanies, and the first thing I got back was, "Hey man, it's going to be a while till you get that that book back because it's going around the groups right now. Can you please tell your friend we really enjoyed his book, but fuck that guy."
Can we blame all those parts on Jason?
Yeah.
It's true though, especially because I didn't deploy with active army. I deployed National Guard, right?
Bruh.
And our training and our op tempo just to get ready to deploy was insane. And I hated everybody. I hated myself. I didn't want to be there. It was an entire, I was kicking myself. I was like, why on earth did I join the army in the first place? Man, I was dumb. I just wanted to go to college, guys. It was just crazy. So every step of what Fetch went through, I felt like I could relate to. And then you mentioned just the absolute graphic horror. There's no amount of training that can prepare you for that.
None.
It has to be firsthand. And even when you see it firsthand, first, once, twice, whatever, it's all
Every time
it's all
the first
just
time.
bad. So,
Right on. JR, did you have a question for him?
No, I said it's like every time is the first time, and then there's the shenanigans going over in the side chat because Swordfish can't help himself.
He doesn't debate me all the time too. Like I'm reading there going, fuck, don't laugh.
So Macrodog, because I've seen some comments both ways, and this isn't for the reservists. What did you think of Christian Rummel as his narrator? Because I actually like him because I've heard him in Jack Campbell's Lost Fleet series. Yeah,
I like him. I enjoyed the Lost Fleet. I liked him in the Reservist. He did a really good job. I love R.C. Bray. I do. But I think every new narrator that has been chosen for any Galaxy's Edge book has just knocked it out of the ballpark, honestly. Especially Stephen Lang.
Lang Gang.
Yeah.
Lang Gang, rise up.
Yeah.
Mackedog, you kind of sound a little funny when you said that. You're like, oh, yeah, especially Stephen Lang. What was up with that? That weird stutter there, bud.
I've had my head knocked around a few times. I don't remember things.
Fair.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
So.
TBI Club.
You get
So
the
what do you?
t-shirt?
We will make a T-shirt. What do you guys envision, or Mackedog? What do you envision for season 2? What do you think is going to happen?
Oh man, so the galaxy was a dumpster fire when we left it. All right, and it seemed like the latest book really just put the icing on the cake of the descent into absolute chaos. The legions they're deciding who and what not to help or who to help, whatever. It's just I think some big things are coming, and I'd like to see a lot more Legion action. I'd like to see a lot more real Legion action, because this is what it seems like we're going to.
Right on. So more small unit stuff. A lot of the lieges clearing out stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Clearing the dead rot of the old Republic.
Some real KTF.
Ooh.
And I do like that they didn't have, just based on what little we've seen so far, and I do like that they didn't just have it, oh, it fell, so it's automatically all gone like they did with the mouse. Because anybody who studies history, like with the real Roman legion, when the empire fell, it took hundreds of years. So the idea that, Gothsalas kills that, can we say that as a spoiler?
Go for
Spoiler alert.
So when Gothsalas kills the House of Reason and, does his little thing, Black Fleet, he did nothing wrong. But when he does all that, like the idea that suddenly that infrastructure, when they tragically strike him down in his prime, but when all of that happens, like the idea that it would all just disappear overnight is it's ridiculous. And some universes go there and it doesn't strike true. And I like there's, remnants of stuff left.
Yeah, and I think spoiler
over.
Well, I mean, if we have to, I can just do one of these.
Hey, that's too much tech. I don't trust you old guys with that.
I mean, JR did try to download RAM, and that's why he lost his account. So.
You say you don't download RAM? I do it all the time. I've got 500 terabytes. Come on.
So, do you think Savage Wars is a wrap, or do you think there could and should be more?
More. Oh yeah, more.
Really? So we've had obviously New Vega was a thing, but
there's gonna be a lot more to that.
You guys would like to see more as far as like other battles, other worlds that they had to bring back from the brink?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I want to see him reconquer Britannica from the id, like it says in Madame Guillotine.
Yeah.
Because I just finished that, so I got all those like New Vega little hints and all that. There's a lot of stuff that if you reread, you're like, oh, I'm seeing where this is gonna go in season 2. I dig it.
Right.
And
on.
I could see Lang narrating when we get McRaven's story because they don't know they're going to write it yet, but peer pressure is a thing.
Oh my god!
We just need us in the Discord to do the pressure, and it'll happen. We're like,
let's start this a letter writing campaign. We want it.
I need 300 pages of McRaven shouting at people to wear their PT belts.
Yes, get off the grass.
Lieutenant Colonel Washam, I believe it was. I'd like to see more of him
when he was younger.
Oh, all the stuff he was doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
When he showed up in season 1, that was like the first time I got to see no holds barred Legion, right? He was a real Legionnaire.
Right on. So what do you guys think about all the talk that's been going on in the fan club about Gods and Legionnaires? A lot of people, I guess, there's been like a 50-50 split where some people really hated the Savage perspective and some people were really into it. What did you guys think?
So, like, I'm in the Gods section right now. I admit the first part of the Gods section kind of drags a little bit, but I'm getting to the part where it's actually starting to pick up, and I'm just like, all right, I dig this. I'm okay with this. But I'm hearing fantastic things about the Leej section, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, the Leej section was awesome. It was awesome. I loved it. It's just brutal.
Savage section's better. Way
Mate,
better.
It's some fighting words.
Why don't you just join Savage Company with your traitorous friends?
Yeah.
Never. Perp Gang forever.
What he said.
But this is the only book where I literally could not have cared less about the Legionnaires. Like, that part was great, but the Savage section was so good, I did not care. About
you just like caring about the burger.
No, it was the goose fat. The goose fat.
Oh my goodness. Well,
that's anywhere.
But yeah, you can find Gods and Legions on audio right now, and of course, the last book in the series, 100, is on audio. So please run out, grab that, leave some reviews. Make sure you're like JR said. JR, do you want to give your signature line?
All right. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, Leej and Legionnaires, please be kind and speak your mind on the reviewing platforms.
Right. And if you want to catch more of his review-like antics, please join him on the Sci-Fi Shenanigans podcast, where he and a bevy of we'll just say veterans, and we won't mention crayons. Get together and talk up with all sorts of authors all across the publishing spectrum. But I'm going to use my blunt force segue for a second and roll into just giving everybody a little update. About 2 months ago, JR threw down the pimp slap glove. He slapped me in the face, threw it down at my feet, and said, I bet you can't create an RPG. And I was like, screw you in the mouth. Hold my beer. So for those of you who don't know, I own my own role-playing game company, Hazard Studios, and we produce a number of different products and projects. So we're playing with something very, very light and fun so that people who aren't into role-playing would still be able to get into it, but crunchy enough that if people who are experienced in role-playing want to use miniatures, want to do craziness, virtual tabletops, that's all on the table as well. So we're about halfway done with our little shenanigans, and we should have something for you to look at relatively soon. So just wanted to give everybody a little taste of that, just because I know JR is going to keep bugging me about this.
Probably.
I didn't know you could run your fingers through JR's hair. I didn't know he had any.
Well,
I am going bald, but way to rub it in. So the game, is that one of the ones you plan on potentially doing, like you did the Temple of Doom with the Mr. Gygax friend James?
Oh yeah, we could do a play test. Yeah, that wouldn't be hard at all.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, the idea is get it as simple as we can, and so that people who aren't into role-playing games can experience it and try it out, and possibly not be overwhelmed by mountains and mountains of rules. So we think we can get it to under 50 pages. That includes art, which is not a lot as far as like a rule set goes. So we'll see what happens.
Do we get to see your art?
And
I might do some pieces for it. It depends, because it's really hard for me as far as like a project like this, because I have to balance my time against for a project like this against like paying gigs. So, and what are you writing in the chat?
Oh, this is an afterlife. Don't worry about that. Degenerates only.
Oh God. So speaking of degenerates, I once again use my. Oh, go ahead, JR.
I just say, if you're picking up what he's laying down with this RPG thing, you could always visit his RPG studio at hazardstudios.net and check out his supers, because if you like superheroes, I'm told that's the place to be.
Yeah, it's a fun game. We've had a lot of success with it. We've actually donated a ton of copies to different veteran centers. We donate to schools all over the planet, so that clubs can have some cool stuff to do on their downtime, and now people can do when they're trapped in the house, so they don't have to feel like they're trapped in the house. But going back to we were talking about Scoundrels and Degenerates a minute ago. Tonight we're going to be talking about Scoundrels and the Scoundrels of Galaxy's Edge. Do you guys have any favorites going around the board? Swordfish, favorite dirty scumbag from Galaxy's Edge?
I mean, does Wraith count as a dirty scumbag?
Absolutely. When you meet him?
Yeah. I would say I love him, because just the whole, just throw him in the compartment and throw the rug over him, and, just like, they're sitting there, I love that part.
Now, I know it's not audio, but did you read, as an insider, did you read the script for the Wraith audio drama?
No, I know. I'm a horrible person.
Oh my goodness! If you like your scum and villainy, you're gonna love this. JR, favorite scum and vile villain from the Galaxy's Edge?
Hogus and Laupak. Guys.
This is Sphinx.
Myself. No. You and I, we both know who the best scoundrel is, because we share him as a favorite. Laupak, of course.
Laupak.
He needs his own book too, just so we can all laugh. Him and Matthew together,
God.
Hey, honest question. Do you think, now I know this is a really long stretch, but do you think we could get Bray to come back for just a Laupak novel
Oh,
And then instead of it being gritty Galaxy's Edge, it just like be kind of one of the more lighthearted ones, where he's just being a scoundrel, you know.
him being pirate king in his pirate fortress, failing at every opportunity. Yeah.
What if I just narrated? That'd be pretty good. Straight Australian accent the whole way through.
Can you,
G'day,
do you,
mate.
All right, what's your Lao Pack accent?
yeah, let me
Sound
hear
like
your
there,
loud
bud?
pack
Yeah,
voice.
let's hear
Oh,
it.
it's gonna be beautiful. Let's go.
For legal reasons, I can't do the accent.
Really, for legal reasons. All right, Badger, how about you?
Well, wait, we haven't gone around the circle yet. Matt, who's your favorite scoundrel?
Oh, it's Laupac. I'm very unoriginal today, as you all well know. So
Right
it's
on.
Laupac.
McEldog, favorite scoundrel.
Same as Swordfish, Laupac or Wraith.
All right, we're gonna sub out real quick. Rookie, you obviously have something to say about this.
Yeah, if it could go for more than one character, if I could split this decision between two scoundrels,
Absolutely.
it would be you. If you remember Requiem for Medusa, those two guys, 7 minutes to noon. Those two guys, those two bounty hunters, those two mercs at the end, just how professional they were. Even though they're antagonists, how professional they were between each other. They fist bump at the end and everything. They're just like, all right, yeah, I'll see you at the end of this. It was perfect. It was beautiful. I don't want to say their names. I don't want to spoil anything. Those guys in Requiem for Medusa were just the best part of it for me.
Now, did you
So
read?
we should add
go
Tyrus
ahead.
Rex to that list. Then we should add Tyrus Rex to the list of scoundrels.
Absolutely.
I guess he count. What was his name? Umari. It was like Umari and something else. I remember. Yeah. Rack. I know his name. Polis or something like that. Polis or yeah. That was his name. Polis and Umari.
Tom.
Yeah, you're Tom. No, because you remember they're planning out this because like you've got the mob bosses and everything they're losing their minds over this whole thing because Tyrus Rex is coming after them. Everybody's losing their minds by the end of the story. Everyone's trying to get ready for this big battle, and it's just 7 minutes to noon. It's like noon. It's going to be a high noon gunfight, and then these two guys are like, "Fraggers? Yeah, I got some. What do you think about bangers? You got enough charge packs? Yeah, I'm good. It's just back and forth between these two guys, and they were just. It was like they were doing any other type of operation, like a dark ops raid, but it was just. It was gonna be like a Wild West gunfight instead.
Right on. There's so many good scoundrels to pick from. Go ahead.
I was just saying, and we were all remiss and we forgot Scarpia. Yeah, he was right up there. Merc, weapons dealer.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes nether ops. I think he was a stooge, but I'm convinced he's working for the man.
How about it, Crimson? You got a favorite scoundrel in the Galaxy's Edge universe?
Well, hold up. Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, I'm falling asleep.
He's in the black.
I just got done doing some PT, duffel bag PT.
Oh,
Not too long
poor
ago.
bastard. That's no bueno.
It sucks. It hurts.
Yeah.
Man. I know the feel.
I guess I typed it in the private chat. My favorite scoundrel would be probably the old man who taught Wraith his tricks.
Oh, Doc and
Just when he
Chappie.
entered the scene. Because when they entered him in, he was like, "Yeah, just get done with the gang war." Just wrecking people. Like, oh, okay. Hey, what's up, dude?
Right on. Where's Duffelbag PT, or can you not tell us?
Small town in Texas. That's about it.
I gotcha. Right on. Right on. So we're subbing you out and subbing in Goose. Favorite scoundrel.
Goose is upside down.
All right. So you guys are thinking like small fry, like criminals and like hackers and shit. I think the biggest, worst off list, most piece of human garbage scumbag in Galaxy's Edge is Orin fucking Carr, right? Think about it. Admiral Devers' personal butt boy for the better part of like 3 decades. Destroys an entire governing system. Orchestrates a coup. Kills a bunch of his competition. Murks all his best friends and lies about it. And then to top it all off, It's just a really solid villain foil in like the traditional sense of the hero's journey is that he's overarching and evil. And also, let me say it again, Admiral Deborah's personal butt boy.
All right. I think we have a winner. It has been decided.
I love how Goose came in upside down. Perfect layout.
Ronan, go ahead and favorite scoundrel.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with Crimson on this one. It's just like, just casually, just taking shit down. It's like, wait, what? What'd you do? It's like, wait, hold on. You did what? It's like, nah, I can't talk about it. Well, you just did. Well, nah, I can't.
Right on. Doc and Chappie then, right?
Yeah.
Can we make while we've got him here and we can bring some other people, our prediction for Scoundrels from season 2? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Prisma.
Prisma becomes a scoundrel.
I think so.
I can
I
definitely
think
see
he's
that.
got the evil coming in her.
Well, let's see. Since he was so prolific, Goose, what's your opinion on that?
Oh boy.
Did you bring me back in?
Back, boys.
Who has summoned me from my pond-based slumber?
Go ahead and do you think? What are your predictions for Scum and Villainy for season 2?
Oh, Scum and Villainy? I mean, it's like the Star Wars ECU or like Star Trek, any big like space saga, when they have like the big government, like McGovernment collapse, all the Scum and Villainy is like, hey-oh, time to make money and do some crimes. Big fan of criming, right? So I expect more Han Solos and, murder times, which is the best part of Galaxy's Edge, objectively, is like the turbo murder in space.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
I'm
You're
hoping
really
there's a
not
lot more
wrong.
political intrigue, too, Because, like, I love it when somebody gets, like, blasted in the face with an M4 and they're, like, disintegrate. That's always great, right? The mental image just, like, puts me to sleep with warmth and hatred. But I think it'd be dope if we got more characters where it's like, haha, it was me the whole time. And then they, like, and they blow up a fucking planet.
Oh, shit.
So
That escalated
Crimson.
really quickly.
So Crimson, what's your predictions for season 2's Scoundrels?
Oh, this is hard. Shit. Well, I'm
I
kind
have
of
faith in you,
thinking
Crimson.
Prisma's pure. Prisma's pure. She's gonna come back as the savior, but I'll say
No.
Robbie. Just come
Robbie?
back and just
Ooh.
yeah.
Dark evil
Someone
Robbie. You shall not pass.
'cause, I mean, he was kind of being a bass in the kind of toward the end of the books, and then he just leaves, and you don't know what's gonna do next.
Dr. Robbie. I like it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I do look forward to hearing is Ravi and seeing how RC, or not RC, but Ray Porter. Oh, is it Luke Daniels?
Was it? No, you're right. It's Ray Porter.
Yeah, see how Ray Porter hits Indian accent. I think that'll be kind of funny.
You okay there, dog?
You got any other wisdom to lay down on us on the Goose? Not just Goose, the Goose.
Yeah, it
The
is
Goose.
the Goose.
The Goose.
Singular one, just me.
Was that the wisdom? That was your article of wisdom right there?
Yeah, I'm like the Highlander. There can be only one. And I decapitate my enemies, so, It's whatever.
All right, I got to jump back in with my blunt force segue.
I think Scarpia's coming back in a big way, honestly, for season 2.
Well,
What do you think about bad guys with the donks and the Z? You think G, donk, whatever. You give me a pronunciation all the time. You think they're going to come back? Like, surprise resurgence?
Maybe, but I think we'll see more shenanigans because of how fractured the Republic is, and because everybody's kind of separating into their own kind of private little kingdoms. The Legionnaires are going to have to swoop in and regain control because, I mean, look at guys like the Midcore Rebellion. This whole little uprising by the Black Fleet, and then the fracturing and splintering of the Republic, that played exactly into what they were hoping for. So places like Synasia, who really didn't want to be part of the Republic and then were forced to. So yeah, you could see a lot of that going on. What do you call it? But I mean, the universe at that point. Look at the oh god, now I can't remember his name. The big honcho in what is it?
Yeah, just call him old mate. Everyone will understand. That's my reference to everyone. If you don't know someone's name, it's like, oh yeah, old mate down the road. You know?
Yeah, right. The guy from Takeover, the guy who funded everything in Takeover.
Oh, Nilo.
Nilo, there you go. I knew it began with an N. So look at Nilo. Look at everything he had going on and how Takeover ended. I mean, there was so much loaded into the end of that. It's just crazy. Oh God, you guys are crazy on the chat. But let's shift a little bit away from the actual, like, you know, the crime and criminals, and let's look at the darker side of Control. Let's look at some of the bounty hunters. You know, alcohol typos are really starting to show. Let's look at some of the bounty hunters. What did you guys think of how the bounty hunters and the guild itself were represented in the books?
I thought they were really cool.
I wanted more. I could see that as a standalone series.
Right on. The goose.
I guess we need to hear the goose.
I think bounty hunters are always a solid choice. I mean, like the crazy samurai robot, great bounty hunter.
Oh yeah,
Sinatron. Give you like exactly. They give you like a really fun like vehicle for like a one-off like super dope character that couldn't carry a book, but like deserves to shoot some mook in the face at least a couple times for dramatic effect. I like bounty hunters. They're solid.
Right on.
And without like a central government, you know, and the Legion like kicking the teeth out of everybody who disagrees, bounty hunters would be extra helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. What'd you guys think of Medusa?
I liked it.
Well, no, not the book itself. I'm talking about the actual bounty hunter. Like when you get when you get the meter and stuff like that.
Yeah, she was really cool. I liked how she would eliminate targets, and then, you know, Rex meets her and it's like, "What's up?"
You have armor. I have armor. Hey, you can infect me. This is fantastic. But yeah, so the kind of the deal that Tyrus Rex had with the Bounty Hunters Guild, you know, only working with one handler. You can't contact him directly. He gets to pick his own jobs. What'd you guys think of that? And what kind of bloodshed would he have had to wreak across like entire sectors in order to first enforce that kind of deal and then keep it going?
Well, we already know he's not only the hero, but he's been the villain so often. He's been murdering and just rampaging across frickin' planets.
I'm angry.
You know. So I think when you have that kind of clout, when you can claim, hey, I'm the Tyrus Rex, and people know it's true, like, come on. You can do basically whatever you want. Nobody's going to stop you.
Right on.
Are you trying to get me a choke? Why do you do this?
There's buttons, you know.
He's trying to piss me off, so I'm more entertaining.
Well, you know,
and it worked. It very much worked.
We do what we can.
Speaking of doing what you can, as your insider extraordinaire, do we see more of your doogie?
How is it? What?
Do we see more of your doggy?
Oh, where is he? Oh, he's on. He's unconscious. He got. Oh, in the story.
Yeah. Does he come back? Do we get more?
Do we get more?
From what I understand,
is he a good boy?
Baldur will be coming back for one of the next Tyrus Rex books, so you will see him again. And you really can't see it because it's kind of healed. That little mother. He hit me so hard the other day, right? I'm sitting there and I was wearing
the foot.
No, I was wearing a jacket and I was outside and I was just holding his. He's got a target moose. It's like a little. It's a big stuffed moose with a braided rope through it that he can manhandle. And he missed the moose and caught my arm the other day, and I have an injured leg, so I can't. I basically stand there on one leg and like, here, grab the target. And he missed. It caught my arm. Man, he went right through my jacket, through my sweatshirt. I'm like bleeding all over the place. I'm like, you ass monkey. I was so pissed. But yeah, he's now he's unconscious because now he's all worn out. But yeah, we should see him in one of the upcoming Tyrus Rex books because he did join the crew, and of course Puncher was kicked out to have to find another dog.
So did the Tyrus Rex book with end with was a Balder will return in, like the James Bond sign-offs? Again, he's old and forgot that he muted himself.
That happens all the time. But like, I'm trying to remember how that ended. It's Tyrus Rex will return. I believe it's Man at a Time, Man from Tomorrow. Hold on, I will investigate. What did you guys think about how the handlers work? Like you see Gabrielle all the time. And she has to keep things super professional because that's the way Rex likes it. Would you guys work with a handler that way, or would you want to go face to face?
I'm a face-to-face person, honestly. That's just how I roll. Like, I don't like this cloak and dagger, the midway point stuff like that. But no, I want to see who I'm dealing with at all times. Even though it's been half mixed, I'm upside down being in Australia, but
He's the closest actor Australia isn't real.
That's true. I gotta go handler because I got anxiety. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to say all the messed up things I say on a normal basis. So I got to keep that at arm's length. And she's nice. She doesn't know all the crazy stuff that he does. She might, but she doesn't know the depth of it, like him fighting the Czarfish, which I want to see more of.
Or the Tyrannosquid, which was in book 3 as well. Oh Jesus!
Well, everyone talks about the Tyrannosquid, but no one talks about the omnipotent fish god that he fought and killed.
Right? Oh my God, that was so creepy. And I because of something else they're working on, I got to see exactly whose mind that came out of because something similar appears in one of their other works.
Ooh.
Yes. So there is an upcoming project that they are working on where we might see a essence, a fragment, maybe even a clone of that kind of creature that is going to appear again. So
because it devoured the world it was on, it devoured all life on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, they're working on something right now, a project that is, oh my God, it's like geek giddy. It's like giddy up. It is so good. If you're a soldier or you like, if you liked Galaxy's Edge, you're gonna love this. It's just it's hot.
Rookie is hollering in the sidebar that he wants to see more Archangel.
Oh yeah, right. Rookie, tell us about it.
That was the bluntest force segue I have ever seen.
And he even got the wrong guy in.
That was an iron pipe of a segue.
Badger, are you okay there, bud?
What the fuck? Hold on. sorry, I'm doing Ronan's Asian voice. Yeah.
See why I won't do loud pack? That shit.
You're rude. You told me you're rude. Anyways, no. I'd like to see more of Archangel just because, like, for some reason, like, okay, so I had been listening to Jason Onspach's Till Death at the same time as I was listening to Requiem for Medusa. So like when they were describing what Archangel looked like, so for some reason I ended up kind of merging the descriptions of like two different characters from two totally different story arcs or stories rather. And I was like, I'm picturing this guy as like Clark Gable, but with like an eye patch. And the whole time I'm like, I want to see more of this guy just on a visual level. But at the same time, So like Archangel's kind of like this guy who's just handing out missions, but at the same time, I want to know how he got to that point in the guild. I want to know how he got to be the guy who is leading an entire guild, like a very, very prestigious.
Well, he used to be a merc himself, from what
Right.
Rex recounts when he worked with him.
Right. I want to know how he got to that point, though. You know, it's like I want to see some of the stuff that he's done. I want to see some of the stuff that he's done beside Rex or with people that, you know, like I want to see how he built up that guild.
And he wasn't even the leader. He was just like a section commander sort of deal. Because there's like a whole council of them. He just controlled that area of space that Rex kind of just hangs out in.
That was actually talked about in Medusa, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just finished my reread on that one.
That's a sneaky edit, Swordfish.
He's got his own. Dude, I can see it. I can see it, dude.
Well,
That's James Bond villain right there.
Oh, it is. It really is. But it's like it's perfect. It's like beautiful. But it's like picture that only with like maybe get rid of the glasses, put an eye patch on him, and then put him in some kind of like sort of Mandalorian armor or more. Like I'm thinking like Neo Crusader Mandalorian armor, and then give it some kind of like some type of color aesthetic, whatever the hell, or just make it all flat, make it look all professional. And you know, just give him that real Clark Gable kind of way of speaking, and you're just like, that's the guy who's running this entire hit squad right here.
So does he have the Clark Gable face and a different body, or the Clark Gable body and a different face?
I'm thinking face. I'm thinking face with a different body. I'm thinking face with like the Bear. No, not Bear Grylls. Why did I say
exhibition
Bear
work for
Grylls?
you, mate? I expect to see some results in 4 hours.
Didn't get to work on that SFM, dog.
Hey! I
I know how much
Yeah,
you
this is
charge.
PG. This is PG-13, Sphinx. We can't talk about this.
My highest tier is $65 for one image. Don't make me charge any higher, you
I know
son
how
of a
much you
bitch.
charge. Don't upcharge me.
Boom.
Line 14, or is he? There he is.
Yep.
Don't cut yourself off again. Anyway, go.
Oh God, I'm so awful. You sit there and you practice and you hope you get everything right, and then all of a sudden, I got Swordfish going. Can somebody wake up the Alzheimer's guy and tell him he's muted again? Oh, God.
It's okay. We love and appreciate you and all the stories that you bring.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you geriatric fart. Yeah.
Hey, Swordfish.
Yeah.
Did you notice that he went off screen when the worst of the breaking the PG-13 rule happened? So he had
Yeah. So we get blamed for all of it. Yeah. So that I'm in the director's seat, and then Jason and Nick can be like, there, that's the one right there. Get him.
Yeah, get him.
That's how chain of command works. Shit rolls downhill.
The kill team is coming for you.
Yeah. But back to a little bit of Galaxy's Edge at the end of Madame Guillotine. It says that Tyrus Rex will return in Killer from Tomorrow. So that'll be the next contracts and terminations. So if you haven't read it, that's what's at the end. So final thoughts before we call this a podcast. Bounty hunters, scumbags, vile villainy. Give me some thoughts.
I actually kind of would be excited if we just had like a scoundrel, sub-series. We could get different authors in, and they could just do their own little scoundrel stuff that fits within the GE lore, and I think that'd be kind of neat. It broaden the
season 2. We have Nilo really pushing the narrative.
Nilo.
Nilo. So it's season 1 is all about Order of the Centurion and showing the honor of the Legion. Season 2 is all about the Republic underbelly. That'd be awesome.
Yo,
I think it would be.
all y'all have just given me a perfect idea, including with what Swordfish just said, doing another bounty hunter centered book, including what Goose said, but from a a THK's point of view, from its time from like maybe back during the massacre to as it slowly loses its mind, like the guy from Requiem for Medusa. What was his name? Sinatron.
You mean Sinatron?
But like we've never seen something from the point of view from a bot outside of G4, G3,
Right on.
Tyrus bot. That would be awesome to me.
Little murder bot. JR, final thoughts.
So in I think it was Kill Team when we first meet Laupak, he lists a list of atrocities, Rissus one just being one of them, that the MCR committed when he's talking about why he doesn't work with them in the way that they thought he did. And so I would like to see what those other atrocities were, because you got to figure a scoundrel like Laupak, if he thinks it's bad, I mean, you've got to imagine that the chaos and shenanigans was just through the roof, which is partly why I wrote the Reservist the way it was. But I'd like to see them cover the other 4 atrocities that he mentioned, because he had like a string of like 4 or 5 of them that he listed by name. I want to see the other ones.
Right on.
There was the oh, well, I already forgot. Never mind. Walt, go on.
It's when he bought the boy general, and we meet Lena,
who is a princess along with the 47 other princesses on that world. Sphinx, parting thoughts.
I already remembered now because I am good that way. I want to see the Syad massacre because they keep mentioning it over and over with the bots again when they kind of lost their mind during I think that was the middle of the Savage Wars, where they kind of had to kind of stop using the tactical hunter killers because they were a little too smart and a little too crazy for their own good. And I want to see Tyrus, Trigger Nuke Man himself, get taken aback at that carnage. I want to see how that happens.
Right on. Matt, parting thoughts.
I actually agree with Swordfish. I'd like to see a little sub-series. I reckon that'd be heaps good. Like, we could get up to 100 maybe. Mate, it's heaps good. It's heaps good, eh? We would get up to like 150 books if we did that, like all up from season 2 side series. Oh, and I just love reading. Just give me it all. Yeah.
Just if you're gonna do something weird, turn off your camera. Maggle Dog, parting thoughts before we call this a podcast.
Yeah, we have 10 years of Wraith doing Wraith things from season 1, and I would love to be able to see more of his adventures. How he met Ravi, what happened, how he became his two selves.
So I take it you haven't read the audio drama that they floated to the insiders yet?
I have not.
You might need to send a message to the powers that be and say, "Give me this, please," because that's all about that.
Okay.
Yeah, we have at least 2 new insiders as of today. So yeah.
Right on. Yeah. Send them a note and say, "Hey, look, I'd really like to take a look at that audio drama because it only went out to insiders. Insiders are the only ones who are going to see it until it sees the light of day. So if you want it, send them a note.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If we're talking about the insider stuff, you had mentioned in a previous podcast that we might be getting a Audible exclusive for the Nadine Broxton, maybe. There was one that was potentially coming. Do we have any updates on that? Because I've been watching for it.
It was supposed to be this month. I'm not sure whether or not they're actually going to release it. It's going to be an audio original. It's called Forget Nothing. It was released to the insiders almost a year ago now, I want to say.
I think it got pushed because they released some stuff to
they released all the
people.
Savage World stuff. But it was...
Well,
Go ahead.
I meant the Audible originals. I think that got shifted because Amazon's like, we're gonna send some stuff that'll help people deal with tough times, I guess. And it's like, oh, okay. I was hoping for Forget Nothing to deal with tough times, but I guess screw me, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, Forget Nothing is supposed to hit very soon. They're going to release it as an Audible original. From what I understand, the next one should be coming up. This was a very, very, very fun read and delves into the reasons of why, for and against, the Legion is made up of men only. So, and then where her career goes from there. So, I mean, It's I really enjoyed this book, and there are some people from the main series in season 1 who appear in this book as well that are just phenomenal across the board. So yeah, if when this hits Audible as one of the originals, yeah, you definitely want to pick this up because it was a really great read.
Yeah, it was hardcore operator style too. I liked it. Like, obviously not as hardcore as a certain other operator GE novel, but it was still full on with the action, and I loved it.
Right, and the great thing about this too is that the person who they wrote it with, Michelle C. Myers, that is a pseudonym. This is a person who has actually experienced a lot of what is in the book. Obviously, not shooting blasters because whatever. Freaking Disney.
If only.
Yeah, right. But she has lived the life and put down the pew pew. So the book felt very, very, very much like it should, and they really, really did a phenomenal job of making it also align with everything else in Galaxy's Edge, to include some of our favorites of certain people, such as a certain someone who hold on, let me see if I can find it. Share screen, we go like this, and then we go like that. I don't know who that guy is, but you might if you've read these.
I'll be in my bunk.
I like that armor. I like that armor.
JR is gonna have that meme where it's got the soldier sitting there with a picture of him just
Major
sitting there
Owens.
on this. Yeah.
Ooh, too soon. Too soon.
He wasn't quite a major in that story, though, and you get to see him a little early on and how he was and how he interacts with normal troops and stuff like that. Really, really tight read. I highly recommend when this comes out as an Audible original for Galaxy's Edge. You should definitely chase that down because it was and like consume it because it was really well done. And if you're a fan of what is it?
I was just going to ask, where is that in the timeline? Is it between Contracts and Terminations and Legionnaire, I assume?
Yes. Yep. It takes place just before. And this is during her time with a SOAR unit. So
Okay.
she's a Republic Marine, and she comes across somebody's radar and gets pushed forward for a new initiative coming through the Republic at the time. So it's before her time in Nether Ops. It's before her time for all that stuff. So you get a really good insight into who she was before and a really great insight into some of the things that were happening and leading right into Legionnaire. So, highly recommend it. And that being the case, go ahead.
What's our backroom boys think, real quick?
The what?
The boys in the back room. The boys, man.
What are they thinking about what?
You gotta cycle some people out.
Yeah, cycle me out. Let them talk for a
You
second.
out? All right. Rookie, you're up.
Of course, you put me in first when I don't have my thoughts in configuration.
All right.
Jesus, just yeet.
That was fast.
Don't worry, Rookie. You'll be back. Ronan, hit me.
I managed. I was
Well, yep, there we go. Okay, Crimson. Rookie, gather your thoughts.
Hey, first off, I'll bullshit here. Fuck. Alright.
So,
Just
thoughts
time I'm
on
bored all over again. Fuck. Every other word. Fuck. What was that? What was that, sir?
So what were your
your
thoughts on season 2?
season
I
2
loved
upcoming
it.
thoughts?
I love the beginning with the everything going on Kublar. I like that, and how it just blowed into the dark side of the conflict, like the side no one really wants to know about, but kind of there if you live there,
Right on.
and it just brings light onto it. And I like the aspect of like everyone's get thrown together and they're just a ragtag group, just trying to make it work when they have all these other shining gems around them, just fucking killing things. Sorry.
Right. What do you think at the end of Takeover when certain people show up for dinner?
I got nostalgic as hell right there. I got really nostalgic, like, oh, I didn't know he was back.
Yeah, there you go.
It was nice. And then
All right.
there's the plot twist at the end. It was nice.
Cycling you out. Run in, hit me.
It was great to see how, secret squirrel stuff happens because you don't normally think of people going into Dark Ops or Nether Ops. They're just kind of there.
Right on. So you're looking for more Dark Ops and Nether Ops stuff in season 2?
Yep.
Damn Skippy. All right. So going like this and going like this. Rookie, you got thoughts?
Oh boy. So I want to see. So for season 2, I want to see what's going on with Bowie, because there's no way I believe he's dead. I don't think he's dead. I didn't see a body. He ain't dead. Unless if you know something that I don't think he's dead. But aside from that, spoiler.
He can edit that for the later show.
But no, for real though. It's one of those things. It was a way that was being told that it was kind of yeah, it's open to interpretation. There's that. I liked how it ended off with Takeover, and then if there's anything that I want to see, it's I want to know how certain characters got onto the Takeover team, like Lana. Look, because if you remember, Lana wasn't quick to let her dirty laundry get aired out by what's his face.
Nilo?
Not Nilo, but like Nilo's guy, Nilo's right hand man, whoever he was, and I'm eager to see Masters become the new Wraith.
What?
That's confirmed. That's confirmed, isn't it? That was some confirmed info, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was somewhere in the. I don't know. I could see that being a buddy cop drama in season 2. Masters having to back up Wraith and some.
I would want to see more Masters than Bear. Because every time Bear's legs failed, Masters would have to pick him up and wear him like a backpack.
Oh, for sure.
Too soon?
Oh, Matt, I thought we were doing a helmeted send-off with this one.
Oh, okay, hang on.
Don't make me run down the freaking hallway for my ODST helmet.
There we go.
Oh, it's too late.
For those listening to the audio stream, Matt has just put on his Doom Marine helmet and is signing us off. So with that, thanks everybody for coming out. We really appreciate your time. And this has been the Galaxy's Edge podcast. And there's an awkward